can stream for Discord, and I'll see the
Oh,
picture.
okay. Wait, can you take a look and see if it's working now? Just help me see. I start the stream already.
Yeah, there's a delay like in 3 or 4 seconds or 5 seconds about that, like something like that.
Okay, but is it in sync with the visual? I'm not sure. Like, let's
Is it?
say, so I'm clicking on Watch Learn Arcade. Can you help me see Hero Store Watch Learn Arcade?
Yeah,
There's no delay,
it's
right?
okay.
Yeah,
As far
okay,
as I
okay.
get it,
That's good,
no.
that's good. I think we can continue. Okay. So I'm going to go to your replay first. Hold on. Okay. So how I'm gonna do this is, so I have already studied your replay, okay? And you can ask me any question along, like you can just interrupt me, and if you have any question, I will guide you along, like maybe where you could have done better and how to think about the game. Okay.
I'll tell you about some things about myself. I've
Uh,
been playing for from 3K
okay.
to 5K, and I can't seem to like stay on 5K or get higher because most of the times, like I feel like I know most of the people think so, but I get always a bad
Okay.
team, and s- sometimes because I'm pretty old, I'm 34 years old. Sometimes I get
Oh,
toxic
so
about
okay,
it.
so you okay because I realized that you don't seem to very good at clicking buttons and pressing buttons. Is that okay?
Yeah,
I think it's fine. I think you can do better
uh,
decision making wise though. So I think we can work on that. I don't know, but let's just see.
sure.
Okay, I'm just going in. Okay, so here, okay. So why did you? Can you? Okay, so I will be asking you question about your decision, but it may not necessarily mean that I disagree with them, but I just need to know what you're thinking. Okay, so
Sure.
I think here you bought stick, right? Wait. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about item, starting item now. Yeah, so why did you bought stick here?
I bought sticks because I thought that like Dazzle can be on our lane because
So
of
you
their
was
setup.
expecting to be against Dazzle, and you think that's
Yeah,
good against Dazzle?
but yeah, pretty good because he spams his first skill pretty
Okay.
often. And if we play aggressively, Centaur will spam his skills pretty aggressively too. So I thought that would be a good decision. I usually take sticks vs heroes who has buttons and they click them pretty often.
Mm. Okay,
That's the point.
I don't think it's good. Okay, I'm gonna explain why. So you say he's going to spam, correct? But the cooldown is so long. So uh, how many charge of the stick you think you're gonna get during the lane? Total in total.
Like in
Yeah,
the
maybe in
first
the
five
first five
minutes
minutes.
or
Yeah,
maybe
so
10.
that's like 150 HP and mana, right? So if you compare that with your
Yeah.
200 gold, you could have gotten another South plus Tango, which costs exactly 200 also. And that gives you much more. You get total like 700 plus healing. You see what I mean?
So I should actually focus on. In any case, I should focus on buying
Yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
cells and
So
tangles in
unless you're
case
playing against a bad,
even
yeah, okay, sorry, you continue.
even if I lane vs someone like a Phantom Assassin or guys
Okay, I
like
think
that
against PA there's
or Bristle.
argument for going for stick. so it really depends on how many charge you think you're gonna get, right? So like against bat, I always get stick. Like almost every high rank players get stick against bat starting. There's no question about it. Because you're going to keep getting it. You're going to like get max charge and then you just use it and then he's just going to keep spamming again and keep getting it. So okay, I'm gonna
Mhm.
just show you that it really makes a difference because I think somewhere around 7 minutes you will start to see the difference. I will show you later. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
okay, I will continue. I'm just gonna speed up. I think I will speed up until the rune fight. Okay. So here again, I'm not. Okay. So here, can you tell me why you? Oh, so you were in a party game, right? By the way, you were in party with this guy, right?
Yeah, yeah, I was in a party with this guy because usually when I play in party with my carry, it
Okay.
motivates me
Okay.
to play better.
Can. So I just want to hear your thoughts on why you decide to fight here.
Because I understand
Okay.
we're stronger.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I agree with that. Yeah. I just need to understand what you're thinking. I'm not saying it's wrong. I would fight also. It's definitely right.
Yeah, I get it. Now, I remember this moment. I decided to leave the kill to him, but he couldn't get him, so
Yeah.
I
Okay.
took the
So
first
normally what
blood.
I do, right? I will also prefer giving the kill to my core, but I will let him do it himself. You know what I mean? Like I will just continue hitting if he and let him do the last hit himself instead of like me stopping to hit. You know what I mean?
Well, I've tried this, and when I play Oracle, usually
Mm.
on this MMR, like people, if I make the last kill, and if I understand that the enemy will live, and I make the last kill, usually people blame me
Yeah.
for stealing the kill. So
Okay,
I
but
try not
I
to do it.
think you should not care. Okay. I think just don't care about what they think. I mean, you can try to explain to them, but if they don't agree, just continue with the game. Cause it's how do I say this? Because sometimes you don't know what your carry is doing. Like it's better to just get the kill. So don't try to give the last hit. If your carry wants the last hit, he will get it himself, you know what I mean? If he's confident that he can get the last hit, he will get it himself. You don't need to uh try to how do I put it? Create the situation for him, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I get it.
Okay, so okay. Here right, okay, I'm going to do player perspective. Here you did something very strange to me, Okay. Uh, okay, so here you went to look at top, right? Wait, what are you do you have any intention to TP top here?
Yeah, I had some intention to keep. I tried to give him the most space I can. So
Okay,
I tried to leave him to the creeps. So if the first lane comes, I'll just keep hitting Miranda first because I know Ken can do anything from minute one because he's pretty weak. So and my carry
okay.
can
So
last
you
hit
saying
him.
you don't mind leaving your Jug 1v2 against the opponent?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If I understand they're not harassing him, so I'm leaving him. If I see they're harassing him or he's not getting any farm, I'm coming and helping him.
Okay. Wait. But so my point is, if I'm you, I wouldn't be looking here. And what I would have done is I would be focused. Okay. Did you also notice that Mirana is showing mid here? So because you were looking at
Hmm.
top, you might not have noticed. What I would have done is position closer to here. Because there's no way you die. You should try to play position more aggressively if you know that you won't get punished. Maybe you don't know that, but in this case, you definitely should have stand here. And it doesn't make a big difference, but this is a small thing that you should have done. Because I mean, by you looking at top, it doesn't help anyway. Like you don't have to look at what they are doing there. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, I think you are able to see Mirana coming. Okay, wait, let me just okay. So I want to ask you, how do you decide whether you hit the Mirana or the Centaur?
Well, I understand. First of all, I need to harass Mirana in order she won't help Kent because he's pretty demotivated by giving us first blood. So, and I understand that on first level I'm much stronger and I have much more
Okay.
health regen than Mirana. So I'm keeping on harassing her until my Jug gets creeps and he's okay
Okay.
in the lane.
I'm gonna ask you something. Let's say this is not a Centaur and if it's a Timber, will you still go for the Mirana?
No, I'll get Timber because I understand if he gets level 5, it'll be
Okay,
pretty
okay. That,
hard to
that's
kill
actually
him.
very good. I'm actually surprised that you understand that. Okay, okay. Okay, but okay. Let me just go back. Okay, so yeah. So in general, how do I decide whether I want to hit the 4 or 5 is by default I will harass the 4. I will trade with the 4. But if by me doing that will lead to their boss tree getting out of control and threatening my boss one's farm, then I would go for the boss tree instead. Right? Is that what you think?
Hmm. Well, I'm thinking about harassing them both. I don't really, in this case, I don't think about choosing
Okay,
any
okay.
one of
But
them.
you only have one choice. You can't deal with both at the same time, you know what I mean? You have to deal with one first. Yeah.
Yeah, I get
So
it.
trading with the Mirana is fine. And okay, so okay, I'm sorry, I need to go back. So this is something small you should take note. So in future, I'm gonna put free camera. In future, you should ask your Juggernaut to cut this tree. Okay? Because it's in your favor that this tree gets cut so that you can move freely like this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that's a good
And
point.
if
Thanks.
if your carry don't do that for I don't know what reason, like you tell them to do that and they don't, you just do it yourself. You see, I noticed what happened is you went to eat this tree. Okay, wait. I think there's a delay here. Okay, wait, yeah, you eaten this tree. I don't know if you can see it's a replay, but I eat this tree instead of this. So you could have used your first tango to eat this instead. Okay. Also here I will have blocked the
Mm-hmm.
cam. I will have body blocked the cam. Okay. Because you don't want to give Mirana the option to just arrow this big cam. Even though you get the XP also, but he's getting the goal. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you just want to reduce the option for your opponent because you are not going to pull this cam anyway for before 2 minutes. You know what I mean? So you should just block the cam. And by
Yeah.
you blocking the cam, you also deny the opportunity for him to pull because you are not going to pull yourself. And if you try to stop his pull while he's pulling, you you put yourself in a very dangerous spot. I'm gonna show you later. Okay. Uh. Okay. Never mind. Let me just continue. Uh. So I think here, okay, he's pulling and you manage to stop, right? If this centaur is good, he would have positioned more aggressively. So if both of them are good, the Mirana will be telling the centaur that he's pulling, can you help me stop the Oracle? And if he comes and stop, I don't know why the centaur used to stun earlier, but what he should have done is stop you from stopping the pull. You know what I mean? So this is the reason why
Mm-hmm.
you should have body block the big cam. Okay?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good point.
by you making a bad play and not getting punished doesn't make it a good play, you know what I mean? You should try to play optimally. Do you agree? Because that's how
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
approach Dota, and I mean at least that's how I approach Dota. Yeah. So I would advocate for that. Yeah, you okay. Okay. I think let me see. Okay, I think what happened is just normal laning. I think around 2 minute 40 second. There's something. Okay, wait, let me see what happened here. Okay, so I think what I wanted to talk about is your decision to buy the stick. So, I actually took note of how many charge you got in total. I think I written it down. You you eaten you have eaten 5 charges and you have 4. Okay, around this time. Okay, here you have 4 charges, okay? And you have eaten 5. So that's total of 9 charges. If you didn't have the stick, what could have happened is you will have one more south and a set of tango. You can heal up yourself and heal up the jug, okay? And then you can go for this kill. But because now both of you, especially the jug, have low status, you two couldn't punish the centaur. You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because
Yeah.
because both of you have low status, like what could have happened is he heal up and the spin should be ready soon, and you guys can go again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
So yeah. Okay. So yeah. So this is what happened. Like this is so awkward. Like his spin is ready, but he don't have the status to fight. And yeah. And I think you shouldn't have bought the boot so early. Like I mean it's fine because of what happened already, but like when you had around 200 gold, you should have already bought a set of tango and south. Yeah, just keep your regen up. You want to invest the gold to help your jug farm while punish the centaur. Okay. So yeah,
Okay.
you shouldn't play in such a way that you go for the big items, especially because you are playing a support. Yeah.
Okay. Get it. More
Yeah,
heal on the lane.
and then you can just keep like every time the centaur come, if your status is up, you can keep killing him. You see, and it's how do I say this? It's it's very big if you can kill him, and then he don't have TP. He need to walk back to the lane. That's a huge win for you. But if you don't have the status, you can't like do that. Yeah. So actually, I think here I'm just going to fast forward to like 7 minutes because there's nothing much here. No, about 6 minutes I think.
The prize is mine. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so here, okay, this is fine. And then I think, okay, so around here, okay, so the QOP is still staying here. Okay. Okay. So why here did QOP leave? Did you tell the QOP to stay and kill this guy?
Yeah. What? Sorry.
Uh,
Yeah. What? Sorry.
at this timing, did you tell the QOP to stay to kill the centaur? Because he's smoking to mid, and there's no way QOP and Monkey King is going to kill this guy when QOP have no. Wait, did she have the QOP had dust? The fuck? Okay.
Yeah. He asked him to kill to get dust before
Okay,
the
but
kill on mid.
did you uh have it crossed your mind to tell the QP to stay to kill this guy one more time?
Nope.
Okay, so you should, because I think you know that he died like, I don't know how long is this, 30 seconds ago, right? If he die again, he's not gonna have TP. Yeah, so you should
Mm-hmm.
definitely tell QP to stay to kill this guy one more time. Like, if the opponent does not have TP after you kill him, you should always do that. Like, that's better than killing someone who can come back to the lane immediately when they respawn. Yeah. Because what could have happened is this guy is just going to get no net worth, and your Jug can be 1k net worth hit at least. Okay. So I think
Mm-hmm.
this is something you should think about, because uh if you are strong in the lane but you don't try to keep punishing your opponent, then you are not making use of your power spike, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So I think here, okay.
Radiant's
Yeah, so if
middle
QB
tower
stay,
is
I think this guy just die. Like, yeah, and you see, so if you have more regen, he would have spin and you guys can go for him. But because I think he was afraid to die, right? So he didn't go for the spin. And he went for the healing instead, the healing
Yep.
ward, yeah. So this is why you always want to keep your status up. You want this guy to keep his status up also. And yeah, and he probably should get mangoes himself. Like what I see my high MMR cores do in my pubs is they will make sure their mana is up. The Juggernaut will make sure his mana is up every time. Okay. Okay, so here
Dire's
I want to
middle tower
know
is
what
under
you were
attack.
thinking here. Like uh
Well, I saw that Kent is like half HP, and he had like no option of staying in the lane, but he didn't check. I guess he didn't check that we both didn't
okay.
have any mana. So I started focusing on like making stacks
Okay,
for my
but
carry.
why did you not pull here?
Because I saw the lane is like doesn't need pulling
Okay.
right now.
But are you going to make use of this siege creep? Because here you have two decisions. Either you make use of this siege creep and play very aggressively, or you just pull. Because even if the lane is, you feel like it doesn't need pulling. Okay, you mean you don't feel the lane doesn't need pulling because it's not pushing? Is that what you mean? Okay,
Yeah.
but uh, from what I see here, you should definitely pull. Like, it's good that because you are not going to use the siege creep, and both of you don't have mana, means you are not punishing this guy. You are not killing this guy. If both of you have mana, what I would have done is uh try to force reaction by going on this guy. But since both of you, like, he doesn't have spin and only you have mana, you are not killing this centaur. You are not going to apply any pressure to the centaur. So you might as well just pull. And I'm going to show you why you really should have pulled here, because by you not pulling, it was a mistake. I think your stack got stolen, right? I don't know if you remember.
This stack, no,
No, no,
it
the small
wasn't
stack.
stolen.
No, no. Okay. Let me just fast forward. Okay.
Oh, I did pull.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, not this stack. Okay, okay, not this stack. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, but so I think the issue is when you could have applied pressure using the siege creep, you do didn't have the mana to do it, and now there's no more siege creep. You two try to go for it and didn't get the kill. So it was really bad, in my opinion. Yeah, but this is fine.
Well, sometimes I think like
Is under attack.
even if the enemy third position or even any enemy stays on the lane with low HP and we harass them a little bit, so he doesn't have any access to the creeps, it's a good option too, because he needs to buy some heal, he needs to spend his money, and until the courier comes, he will be like doing nothing on the lane. So that's sometimes it's a good option as
Okay,
far as I
sure,
get
but
it too.
it's always the best to just kill them. You should always just kill them if you can. But so the problem is because you don't have the mana to do it at that point. Your Jack didn't have the mana to do it. But if your Jack have the mana, I'm sure you would also have went for the kill, right? During the siege creep at 7 minutes. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So because by you just harassing them a bit, it's not going to make a difference. He's still getting farm. When you apply pressure, what you want is to uh give your opponent, like, don't give the opponent the option to even last hit. Like, if you are just harassing them and they still able to last hit, then there's no point. Okay? Because uh at this stage, it's not going to make a big difference of you harassing them. But maybe during the first two creep wave and first few minutes, yeah, sure, you can just harass them without killing them. But after about 5-6 minutes, there's really no difference, because you want to force them out of the lane and not give them the option to stay in the lane and still be able to last hit. Because I think this center is still able to last hit. Like 7 minutes I saw he have 2k net worth and now he have 800 more. It just doesn't make sense. Like, if you are actually applying pressure, he's not able to last hit. So yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But at this moment, as far as I remember, I thought that like he's pretty fat, and the options to killing him is like is only with the Jug's
Yeah.
ulti.
So because you two missed the kill with the ulti, yeah, but that's fine. Uh I think the point here is to make better decisions. Like, when you can punish your opponent, you should uh how do I say this? Uh like, it's fine if you try to go for a kill and you don't get it. But if you have uh made better decision, the kill would have been easier. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Great.
So wait, let me see. 12 minutes.
Is under attack.
Okay, I think here is fine.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, so here your stack got stolen. I'm not sure if you could have done anything about it. But in general, what you should do is, there's no point stacking so much and not pulling. Just pull. Because that's one way you can deny farm, you know what I mean? If you can't kill him, like what you say, you can't kill him, right? So one way to deny farm is just keep pulling when you have the stack. You force him to come. If he comes, he put himself in a dangerous spot, and you have the option to ask your team to punish him, to come and TP to punish him, you know what I mean? Because he's staying here and you can't do anything. But if you pull, you force him to come here. Okay? Yeah. So
Yeah.
and yeah, so here's the problem. Because you have so much stack and then you didn't pull, and you give him the triple small stack, which is roughly 200 gold. That's equal to 400 gold swing. Because that stack was meant for your team, but it got stolen. So you lose 200, he gain 200. And that's actually a big deal, in my opinion. Like, it shouldn't have happened, I think. Like, just just keep pulling if you can't even do anything. Because I think after 7 minutes, you two didn't really do much to him anyway. Because if you feel like you can't punish him by killing him, then just keep pulling. There's no point like you doing this, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, wait. Do you always go for arcane boots when you play Oracle?
I always go for arcane and lance as first items.
Okay. So I think the reason why so you can do this when if you are very far ahead, but here I don't really think you are very far ahead. You you should have just went for small items. You see, this goes back to the point where I say you went for the boots immediately, right? Yeah, and because you went for the
Mhm.
boots immediately, you might as well have went for the arcane boots immediately also, because like I get it, but what should have happened is you shouldn't even have gotten the boots so early. And if you didn't get the boots so early, you would have more status in the lane to punish this guy, and you might or might not get the kill. If you don't get a kill, you won't have too much net worth too. But if you get a kill, you could also have equal amount of net worth you have now, while this guy have lesser net worth. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So in case if I didn't buy the boots and I buy some heal
Yeah.
and mana regen, we couldn't get the kill, and I could even then get the boots, but with the one kill and the
Yeah.
enemy having less
Yeah, like
space
this
and
guy
less
shouldn't
buff.
have this much net worth. Like what should have happened is this guy will be forced to go and jungle or not stay in the lane, and this tower will be down at 10 minutes. That's what should have happened. I'm not able to show
Mhm.
you, prove it to you here, but that's really what should have happened. If you have,
I trust you.
if you have played the make better decision, that's what should have happened. Yeah, I mean you and the Juggernaut, both of you. Yeah. So okay, let me just continue. Oh wait, here. Okay, wait. Can I ask you why did you give yourself the jelly here? Why did you
Sorry
give
again.
yourself the jelly? I think you took the jelly and gave him and yourself, right? Why give it to yourself?
Because sometimes, to be honest, I make decisions on this MMR that I understand that if I have the proper mana regen, well, when playing Oracle 5th position and Oracle sub, I understand that in most of the cases when I get uh, if I get the mana and I get the boost, then I can help my team to end the game and save them better in most of the cases. So that's why in this case I asked him to give me
Okay.
the jelly, and because I understood that if I have enough mana, I know I'm not that well at pressing buttons, but on this MMR it's enough to save my team. In any case,
Okay.
I'm okay at that. So sometimes I take the boost to myself.
Okay. I think it's not gonna make a big difference, but in general, you should. How do I say this? Like, I think the mindset you are having now is you think you can make better use of this jelly than your teammates can, right? Because they are so bad, right?
Well, at most of the
Yeah,
cases,
but
yeah.
I think you need to not have this mindset if you really want to reach higher MMR, because I don't know how to convince you this. I don't have a good argument for this, but you need to realize that if you are at this rank and you match with these people with this rank, like all of you are basically equally bad at winning games. You know what I mean? Because your MMR basically, it measures your ability to win games, and you should just play in such a way that don't think your teammates uh is not going to play well. Like, you just need to play your best, and giving yourself the jelly is definitely not the best option. Like, it's more efficient. Like, even like you could have even give your MK, because he can make use of the HP to farm. Because if he's farming jungle, he's going to get some damage. And the mana helps him also later. He's going to use this spell to farm.
I agree. In from that point of view, I should
Yeah,
have given
like
to my core.
yeah,
That point I agree.
I really don't know how to say this, but I think a lot of low MMR players just don't trust their teammates. Like you really should not do that. Like yeah, I don't know how to convince you this. I need to think about this later, but
Um, to be honest, for the last month and a half, I lost like about 1 or 1.5 KMR. So trust is like an issue for me for my teammates.
okay. But uh I'm just gonna tell you honestly, like the the only reason why you are even at this MMR because you are just equally bad at winning games as your teammates are. So you just need to focus on making better decisions. You don't have to care about what your teammates do because over time, like I mean, the opponents are also equally bad. You know what I mean? So over time, it evens out. So if you are, if you deserve higher MMR, you should uh, how do I say it? If you really deserve higher MMR, you will get there eventually. You know what I mean?
Mm, most of the players that I saw interviews that they are playing subs and
Okay.
they are streaming, the pro players, even they say that to support to gain MMR is something like unusual because you can help your
Yeah.
team surely, but you can't like. I can own the game in the first 10 or 15 minutes because I understand subs are the key to early game. But in late game, when like I have cores that are getting to meet us when playing via Sentimage, or when I have a sniper mid tranquil boots with a Ganem on like minute 25, I understand that I can't do
Okay.
shit about it, and that's what disappoints me
Okay.
on
If
this
you
MMR.
see shit like sniper with Tranquil boots, you don't give him the jelly. Yeah, you can do that. So I think one thing maybe you could do is you need to read your teammates. Like how do I say this? Like let's say if you see your mid just walking down mid and uh being toxic like that, then there's totally no reason to give him the jelly, right? So I think you need to read your teammates too. Like do you actually think that your Necro and MK are playing exceptionally bad here? Like
I didn't look at
yeah,
them.
but
I
I
didn't check
think
them.
maybe that's what you could do because yeah, as okay, never mind. Go back to the point you said like pro players saying that it's very unusual to grind MMR playing support. Yeah, but yeah, it's true. But there's also a lot of immortal players who only play support. So just by playing support well, you definitely can get higher MMR. So it's not really unusual, I would say. Like maybe it's very unusual in like top 100. Yeah, like top 10 players, you don't see support players normally. Like, but low in mortar, there's definitely still a lot of support players. Okay, but
To be honest, when I saw like pro players that play carry and mid and they go to 4 or 5 MMR and they lose games
okay.
on Smurfs, so I lost the point where subs can do anything. If pro players can't do anything if they have a bad team, so what can a sub do on 4 or 5 MMR to win games? I don't know.
Okay. Okay. I think
So
yeah, I think that's a good point. I don't really know how to answer that now, but okay, never mind. Let me just move on first. I'll think about that.
sure, sure.
Okay. So here, I think okay, never mind. I'm just gonna fast forward. I think around 16 minutes.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
You can have an idea. You can even make a. Do you know the guy
Yeah, I
Banana
know
Slam
BSJ.
Gemma?
Yeah, I watched him.
Yeah, BSJ just made a couple of videos about how to gain MMR playing
Okay.
as a sub. Like I've watched them, and I'm not very sure that it's all of that is true because it's played on a pretty low MMR. And if we gain the statistics, and like if he would play on a long term, like 10, 20, 30 games, he wouldn't gain any MMR. He would make the decision that it's probably like something like fortune to get MMR on on that rating, on that bracket. So if you could make like something like that when you're a
Okay.
sub player,
Yeah.
as far as I get it, and you can make like play on 5k MMR like 10 or 20 games and show that people can actually gain MMR on long term and 10 20 games on that rank if they
Yeah.
play properly, then I think many people should be interested in that, and they'll believe in that
Okay.
idea. Maybe they
Okay, that's
get
a good
better.
idea. I thought of doing that in future. Like I play a Smurf and just only play support to I don't know 8k. I've thought of that, but it's gonna take very long. In future I will do that. I yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, okay, I think here you did you panic or what? Because I think your spell casting order was wrong, so you misclick, right? Because what should have happened is you immediately. So here what I've done is I see this happen, right? I immediately frost promise him and use my second skill on him. I mean on the MK and heal him 2 times. Am I? Do you know that level 1 Fates Edict can cast 2 of this? I mean, you just need to be fast enough. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this
In
patch,
this
yes,
patch,
yes.
yeah.
Actually, even the previous patch, I think you can, but
No, in the previous patch, the cast time was pretty
okay,
long, so you couldn't do
okay, okay.
two times.
Yeah, so I think here I think here you know, right? You know that you should have done that, right? Like you.
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
should have
Okay.
done that
I think
earlier.
that's fine. If
But sometimes I'm bad at pressing buttons because I think I've overplayed this game
mm,
too much.
okay, let me just continue. I think yeah, I think to get better, you really have to press button better. Like because it's also part of the decision making. Like you can't just like make a decision and end up making another decision because you press wrong buttons, right? You know what I mean? So you still have to
Hmm.
press your buttons correctly. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
Radiant's bottom
Okay.
tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So let me just continue. So okay here. Okay. So here, right, I want to talk about a general concept. So see what you are doing here. I'm gonna go per player perspective. Okay, wait for a while.
Shadows take us.
Yeah, in this moment, I asked my team if anybody wants to unpush top because there's some
Okay.
free space. But then I saw they
Yeah.
all gathering
So it's
mid,
better for you to go there.
and
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
correct. So, but I don't. I'm not questioning that decision. What I'm questioning is why did you like just TP without even looking? Cause what actually happened, right, is you just TP without looking. I think it's not a good habit to do. So what I like to do is
Without looking, what there was enemies on the map. I saw they're pushing the lane, and why should I look there? I understand that something is gonna happen, so I TP'd.
okay, so
In any case, they need to push the lane,
yeah, but okay.
right?
I think one habit to do is what we have done is right. Okay, do you have a hotkey to bring the camera to your hero? You have, right? Yeah, so what you should have done
Yeah,
is you
yeah.
press on the minimap first, then you TP. So that you know where you are TPing exactly, you know what I mean? Like, because you are not in a hurry, right? Unless you are TPing base, you know what I mean? Like, if you are TPing base or like you need to be very quick, then you just TP. it's fine. I just want you to make the conscious decision to like look before you TP. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I'm afraid
I
that
get
right,
it.
what this means is by you not looking here means you always don't look when you TP. I'm just afraid that's what like do you do that?
No, in this case, I saw that like the enemies are gone,
Okay,
so
okay.
I don't need to
Okay,
like.
okay, then that's fine. Just make sure that you make the conscious decision to do that. Yeah. Otherwise it will end up being a bad habit. Okay. So okay, and here you see if you did you realize that when you TP here the creep can see?
Yeah, and somebody
Okay,
can
no,
kill
no,
me.
that's not the point. So what you should have done is right, because okay, so this is one general concept you should think about. Like every time you make a decision, you should not provide free information to your opponent. You know what I mean? Because by you doing this, yeah, you
Yeah,
are
I get it.
providing
So,
free
so
information to opponents saying that Oracle is TPing, and so now what they could have done is if they feel they cannot take the fight, they just give up this tower. They don't even try to fight. But if they don't know you TP and they try to fight, it might end up being a mistake for them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
yeah, I
you
agree.
want to make them guess your movements. You don't want to just let them know that you are TPing. Like what you could have done, like it's not going to hurt for you to just move behind the tree, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, to just move behind the
Yeah,
tree then you
yeah,
TP. Like this is something you should think about because if you are providing free information to opponent, it's like you are playing and your opponent is not providing you free information, then it's like you are playing poker but they are playing chess, you know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah.
Because in chess you basically have all the information. Yeah. So that's what you should have done. You shouldn't TP like in general you should never TP let your opponent know you are TPing unless it's very urgent, you know what I mean? Because there's no urgency here. Which is also why I say you should just look before you TP. Like there's no yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so okay. Okay, let me see because I've written down notes so I alternate tab a lot. Hold on. Okay, so here at 55, okay, what are you doing here? I'm going to
Dire's middle tower
player
is under
perspective. Okay,
I'm staying, trying to get the best position and staying
yeah.
behind
Okay,
my
yeah, but do you think this
cells.
is the best position?
Dire's structures are fortified.
Okay, so my point is, you see, if I, okay, so this goes back to what I say about not giving free information, right? If I go to the opponent's perspective, okay, you see this centaur? That yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
able to
saw
see
me.
you
I
when
know
you
that.
walk to this spot, this spot here, okay? The tower is able to see you, so you are just walking back and forth here. You know what I mean?
At this point,
Yeah.
I remember that moment. At this point, I thought that if my team wants to make like try to kill Centaur, I'll be able to give him the first spell and
Okay.
stun
Middle
So,
him
tower is
so
to
under
them to
your
get.
idea was to kill the centaur.
Yeah, if my
Okay.
team wants to, because I understood that if I'll cast any spells on him, I'll
Okay.
give him information that we have a war
Okay.
there.
But I think okay. So, I think this is a very difficult concept to understand. But you need to realize that there's no way, right? If this centaur is playing properly, there's no way he will let you kill him. Like, there's no way he will let you use your first spell on him. He's just gonna blink away. You know what I mean? And yeah, and
Yeah.
your objective here is just to take the tower. There's no need to kill him. Like even if you guys want to kill him, it's not your job to initiate. Because by you doing that, you are putting yourself in a very dangerous position. Because okay, let me just tell you what might have happened if your opponents are good. Uh, let's say if they choose to take a fight here,
Dire's
by you
structures
showing
are
here,
fortified.
like if they wanted to take a fight, because from your perspective you don't know where, I don't think you know where your opponents are, except for the centaur. So this Mirana spawn, they could have immediately TP here and then bring the centaur to smoke and come behind and kill you first to take the fight. You know what I mean? And why they can do that is because they know where you are. Like if you just don't even move to this spot, just I don't know, maybe stand here Okay, but there's a ward here, so you didn't know there's a ward here, but just stand anywhere around here and not let the tower see you. That there's no need for you to show yourself, you know what I mean? Like and there's I
Yeah,
mean
yeah, I agree.
there's no need for you to be positioning here in the first place. But because you position here, you show yourself. Yeah. Like if you give because you don't get punished here, so you don't feel what you don't feel it's a bad play. But if you want to get to higher MMR, your opponent is going to get better. They will punish your small decision. You know what I mean?
Sometimes the decision making
Yeah.
on this MMR is also, I'm taking in notice that my opponents are weak and they don't know what to do. And in this case, I also saw there's two people in the tavern, so maybe that's why I chose that position. But if I understand, and I agree with you completely, that
Mm.
if they were good, they could have like
Yeah.
used that mistake in the positioning that I made and kill me. On higher MMR,
Yeah.
surely they
But
could have done that. But when playing on this MMR, usually you don't think like they're so smart and they could
yeah.
do moves like that.
Agree with what you mean. But okay, another way to think about it is by you staying here and somehow killing the centaur, it's not going to make a huge difference. It really doesn't, because your goal here is to take this tower, and it doesn't make a difference whether the centaur die or not. You know what I mean? So what you are doing is basically you are
Yeah.
trying to be greedy. You are trying to make a greedy play here and see if your opponent lets you do that, right? But what like if but you should really try to be consistent in how you play. Like there's just no reason for you to uh even need to kill the centaur here. Like they are not going to fight here.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Well, yeah, I agree that it wouldn't make any difference. But as far as I remember, I also uh, asked my team if they could push
You
further
mean went for the tier
because
3?
yeah, because the most often mistake, as far as I see
Okay.
it on this MMR, is when people like kill 2 or 3 players or have a big advantage on the game. I most of the time I ask them to be more aggressive and take as much as more towers or lanes as far as they can, because they can kill like 4 people of the enemy team and go jungle. And as far as I see it, it's the most popular mistake here, because the game could end like in 25 minutes. Instead of that, it goes to 50
Mm.
minutes, and that's the most like annoying thing to me, because I get annoyed from people making decisions like that, like kill 4 people and go jungle. From my point of view, is like one of the baddest decisions people can make on
Okay.
this MMR.
I heard this before. Okay. I understand, but mm, okay. So what you're saying is, in this MMR, a lot of players just throw the game, correct? They just
Well, it doesn't actually throw the game, because at some points it doesn't matter. But I like to, Dota for me is
mm,
like a chess game, and if you do everything properly,
yeah, yeah.
then you could win. And like if you have the advantage, you understand you're stronger, and then from my point of view, you should push and you should end the game. And I'm getting annoyed when I understand like we can like be playing like 30-5. The score is 30 to
Mm.
5, and my team keeps jungling. Like it gets me very
Okay, okay.
annoyed
So
watching
okay,
this, because I'm playing this up when
yeah.
people go jungle and they have the advantage. I really don't have any idea of what to do, because like when 4 or 3 people are jungling and I'm playing fifth position, I try not to take farm, especially
Mm.
when I play in a party. I especially try not to take farm, but in this case, I'm just lost on the map. I don't know what to do. I have wards everywhere where I need them. We have everything to go to push, and I get annoyed by that.
Okay, maybe I can give you a solution in this kind of situation. So you let your teammates make the decision, and you try to uh accommodate their decision. You know what I mean? Like you play in such a way that dependent on how your teammates play. So you think that you guys can siege high ground right here. Correct. Yeah, but your teammates choose
Yeah.
not to, right? Yeah. So what you could
Yeah.
have done is control this area. Okay. Or here. But since you are all here, control this area and just don't even let your opponent have the ability to come up. If they come up, you take a fight outside. Because I think what in this MMR people are afraid of is they scared they are not strong enough to siege the high ground, correct? Yeah,
Yeah.
if they feel
Yeah.
they are not,
That's
if your teammates feel they are not strong enough to siege the high ground, but you feel you are, it's fine. You let them make the decision, but you try to support the decision by denying your opponent from having the resource here, while your team has the resource. Like you can do that. It's fine that the game goes longer, and you can still make the correct plays. You know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah, I get it. So in any case, if 4 people out of 5 think that like they don't
yeah,
want to go high ground, uh, I should like make the
yeah, yeah,
best of
yeah.
it.
Okay, so okay. Yeah, you see, this is the same as what I mean when I say if you have a mid sniper with Tranken boots, you don't give him the royal jelly, okay? Because you know he doesn't know what he's doing. So yeah, in that case, you can don't give him because you play dependent on how your teammates play. You know what I mean? You make your moves dependent on how your teammates play. So it's the same thing for this situation. You feel you are not, no, you feel you are strong enough to go high ground, but your teammates feel they aren't. Then just continue with the game, uh, as if you can't go high ground. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
here, right, I want to ask you, do you feel safe here? Do you feel safe in this spot? Yeah.
Right now, I don't know. From the player perspective, I think
Okay.
yeah, but from the overall
Okay.
view, maybe
Actually,
not.
okay, I just want to give you a tip here. So if you feel you are safe anytime you want to deward, right? Because here you are trying to deward, right? And sometimes when you are dewarding, you can get punished. You know that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think you experienced that before. So here, right? If I think this career wasn't yours, but maybe what you could have done is ask QOP to put a career here, so that you can deward more efficiently. You know what I'm saying? You can put a sentry here or here,
yeah,
so that you are not
yeah.
forced to put the sentry here. You can debug more efficiently, and it's probably not going to make a big difference, but uh, not now the sentry there's only a limited number of stock. You can't just spam even if you have a even if you are infinite net worth. So the sentries are quite precious in my opinion. So you should always try to debug more efficiently. So maybe what you could have also done is you plan ahead. Like before this tier 2 was even down, you plan ahead and bring your career out. Bring more centuries and bring your career out and start dewarding. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I usually don't use my
Yeah.
careers to do what. There's also a point I wanted to ask you when I
Yeah.
was watching your games. Usually, when I play
Mm.
on this MMR, I and I'm playing like fourth position, and I understand that my fifth position is the main character who needs to place and the wards. I saw you playing on your high
Yeah.
MMR, and you put the wards in a pretty standard places on the cliffs, like almost all the
Uh,
time. And what I've learned, I always try to put it in a non-standard places, like not on the cliffs, but somewhere where the sentry on the cliff
okay.
won't get it.
I know what I mean.
So
So how I think about warding is in general you ward randomly. Okay? You be random with your warding in general. But sometimes you want to ward in such a way that with a purpose, you know what I mean? So like the only reason why a lot of times I ward cliff like here and here and here, right, is because I really want the vision. Like uh I want my team to be able to use the vision and maybe don't even let the opponent to deward. But if you, let's say you feel your team, okay, let's say you are going to plant a ward around here, right? If you feel that your team is not able to defend this ward if you plant here, then don't put here. You can put somewhere else. But if your team can defend it because you are going to fight here anyway, maybe or farm here, then you can just put it there. You know what I mean? Yeah, so how you ward depends on whether you can protect the ward. Are you going to leave the area or not?
Well, usually on this MMR, as far as I get it, people don't actually have so great map awareness, and they don't think about what will happen in 2-3 minutes. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if it'll work here, because I can put the ward here by understanding that we control the upper area of their jungle. But in any moment, like my 2 or 4 of my teammates can TP somewhere to just go jungle, and there'll be a mistake from me
Yeah,
by
okay. So
putting that
if
ward.
you, let's say you know that your team is just not going to defend the ward, right? Then just don't put those wards that are valuable which get dewarded easily. You know what I mean? So I think the way to think about this is the more valuable the ward spot is, the more you need to defend it, right? Like, so if you can't defend it or you feel like your team is just going to leave, then just don't put there. It's fine. You can maybe put here or I don't know, here or here. Like, you just need to know where your opponents are moving to, right? Because you see there are two kinds of wards. One is just for information, another is for fights, where you actually provide vision for fights. So if you are not going to defend cliff wards, then you can just put wards that just provide a glimpse of information, then it's fine. Yeah. So so this thing about dewarding. So if you have brought your career here, right? What you could have done is maybe put the sentry here. I think you can see in the minimap. If you put your sentry here, you could have dewarded here and this ward, which they had, but you didn't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see. Yeah. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
this is something you could do in future. Just plan ahead on how you want to ward and deward and bring your career along, especially when you feel safe. Yeah, you only do this when you feel safe. If you don't feel safe, there's no time for putting career. Sometimes you just want to deward quickly. Yeah. Sometimes in my games I just want to deward quickly, then there's no time for the career. Yeah. Okay. So wait, let me just move on. Okay, I think 20 minutes.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is falling.
Hold on. Okay, wait. I think here it should panic here. Because you use this before he slow you. Like you panic here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that. You just don't panic, man. I don't know how to say this, but you have to make it a habit to not panic. I mean, sometimes I also panic, but if like I'm sure you can wait. Like here, you just immediately use this after the stun, and yeah, like there's no need to do that. Okay. Yeah, but I think this is fine. I think you know that.
Yeah, I should have waited, but I was like, I really panicked, and I
Yeah.
thought they could
Okay.
kill me.
Okay, so here, okay, around 21 minutes. So, okay, I know that I'm supposed to be coaching you, but I just want to make a point. Do you play with this guy a lot? Okay.
Recently, yeah.
So just see what he's doing here. So although I'm not a core player, but I know this is a mistake. Okay, look at what he's doing here. Like, why is he TPing away? Do you know?
No, that's the point I've been. He's focusing on his farm,
Yeah, okay.
because like most of the time I tell him that his farm
Yeah,
is
okay.
not good enough, and he should plan his farm and look any open spots to farm on the map. So sometimes he does it pretty bad because he doesn't think about the consequences
Yeah,
of
yeah,
him
yeah,
TPing
okay.
somewhere.
So I think you understand that, yeah, okay, that's fine. So, uh, so I don't know how to say this. Maybe it doesn't really work in low MMI games, but learning how to communicate with your team is part of the game. You have no choice but to learn that, I think. So maybe you need. Okay, so what I've learned is like you really need to be specific with your thoughts on what you want your team to do. Like you like what maybe you could have done is tell the jug to move with 3 of them and just push this. Okay. Because you know what I mean? I don't know if you have did
Mm-hmm.
you do that during this game? Like before he even TP away, like after he farmed this, ask him to like I think it's also maybe your responsibility to watch what your Juggernaut is doing. You know what I mean? And
I don't think I
yeah,
have
but
told him anything
like it's
at that
fine
point.
that he chose not to do it, but it's your responsibility to watch what he's doing and tell him to move to top. And you also. Because the team is taking this
Mm-hmm.
tower and I'm sure you feel that you are so strong, right? Like there's no way this should be happening where Jug is here, you are here, and 3 of them is here. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I know that maybe sometimes your team is not gonna listen, but you need to at least
Dire's top
try.
tower is under attack.
Like I say, if your team don't listen, then just make your next move based on what they are doing, right? Yeah.
So yeah, at this moment I saw they're taking the tower, and I
Yeah, yeah.
decided to
And
move to
then
them.
there's something funny happening here again. So I think you decide to TP down. Yeah, yeah. So why did you TP down? You think he's gonna die, right?
Yeah, I saw that there are like some people TPing there, and they're
Yeah.
gonna
Okay.
chase Jug,
Yeah.
so I
So I
decided
think
to
this is
make
fine.
keep
Maybe
bot.
I wouldn't say it's a bad play, and I wouldn't say it's your fault. But I just want to show you what happened after this. So I if I'm you, what I've done is right, tell my team I'm going to TP down because I think Jug is going to die. You let did you tell that to the 3 of them? Yeah,
I
but
don't remember. I don't think we actually communicated. They like on this MMR, there's a lot of people who don't have like
yeah,
any
but
voice
if your
communication.
team don't communicate, I mean even in high MMR, CPUB especially, some people don't communicate. But you should even if your teammate don't communicate with you, you should still communicate with them. I feel like that's how you should approach Dota. At least PUBG game is you still have to do that. Like because like what could have happened is you let them know, right? Because I don't know what these 3 guys is doing. You see after that they smoke and then they just die. So they smoke and then they just die here. So because if I'm you, what I would have realized is okay. What I might have told my team is that I tip it to bottom. Uh, you guys, if you guys are going to smoke, oh, okay, maybe you don't know that they are going to smoke, but you need to tell them that that there might be a 3v5 fight. You let them know that you and Jug is not going to show up at the fight, and then maybe they wouldn't have go or something. I don't know. Like
As far as I see, that's the most often mistakes of this MMR. They thought
yeah,
they're too strong. They smoked. They didn't see anybody on the map, and they've gone like 3 vs 5 fights, and they lost it. And that's a game throwing
yeah,
move. Actually, it's not so critical on this MMR because you need to
yeah, yeah,
make a
yeah.
lot of mistakes to lose from this advantage. But when people like make moves like that and they don't get the point
Yeah.
what went wrong, like most of the people on this MMR, like it's the most common thing. They make moves, they die, they make wrong moves, they die, and they blame other people for that. Like ITP bot because I saw like my Jug
Yeah.
can die, and yeah, it's my bad. I didn't give that.
Yeah,
Maybe I
but you
didn't
should
give that information to them.
you
But
should
they
at least
all
provide them with the information. If
they,
they still blame you, then forget it. Just mute them or something. I don't know. But yeah, you should have because I think uh how do I say this? I'm really not convinced that a lot of players are actually very toxic. You know what I mean? Like I think most of the time it's just due to lack of communication causing the toxicity. Because
No, I really. I'm currently playing on like this MMR for a
yeah,
long time, I guess, from 3K to 5K bracket, and I guess I can say like 75% of the people are, well, they're not so toxic, but they believe they are so good and they can't make mistakes anyway. And when you tell them, guys, you didn't check the map, you didn't see I was TPing, and you went 3 vs 5, and that
mm,
was a big mistake.
okay.
Like you give some of the advantage to the enemy, and they will say, no, it's not our mistake, it's your mistake that you TP.
Even if you tell
That's
them
the
that
point.
you are not there, you is it? Even if okay,
Yeah. They're
okay,
gonna
okay.
blame you in any case,
That
and that's the point. That's the bad thing
okay,
on this
then I
MMR.
guess there's no solution for that. Yeah, but I think in general you still need to try to provide information. Okay, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
agree. I
So
agree.
okay, never mind. Let's just move on. 23 minutes. Okay, wait, let me see what happened. Uh, okay. So I think at 23 minutes there's something.
Radiant are scanning.
Okay, so here right, I'm gonna give you a tip here.
Is under attack. Dire's
Okay. So again, do you feel safe here? If let's say you feel safe here, right? What you could have done is right, instead of just placing the sentry to check for what, you stand here. But because the creep
Mm-hmm.
wave haven't reached, right, your teammate is not gonna tank the tower anyway. Stand here. Okay. You know why? Because if there's a
Mm-hmm.
ward, you stand here.
Yeah, they can see and they
no,
can
the tower
initiate
will
on.
hit you, and you know there's a ward. Yeah. That.
Oh,
I'm saying if you feel
I did.
safe. If you don't feel safe, then don't do that. Because you don't want to waste a sentry.
So if
Yeah, and
there's a
you by you
ward
standing here,
there,
the tower attack you,
uh,
and then you know there's a ward.
oh,
It's the same
nice.
for this. Is it?
It works only on
No,
daytime, as I
nighttime
get
too.
it, right?
Yeah.
Nighttime too.
The tower attack
Nice.
range is more. No, wait, wait. The tower vision range is more than the attack range.
So does it work on
Yeah.
this
Here,
tower
here.
too, on T2?
And
Nice,
here
nice. I didn't
this
know that.
tower, you need to cut the tree here, I think. I don't remember. You know, it's the same thing as you know how people deward the ward, mid ward. They stand here to test for ward. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. You make use of the fact that if there's a ward here, the tower can see, so it will attack you. Then you know there's a ward to the ward. Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
been using that. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Nice tip. Thanks.
But yeah, you should only do that if you feel safe because when you try to do that, you always put yourself in bad position. So just only do that if you feel safe.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay.
Okay.
I think there's just one last thing. This replay is ending. Okay. So here, right, here is just something very general. So when you siege high ground as a support, especially when you are playing a hero like Oracle, where it's not your job to be initiating or be in front, right? Always try as much as possible to not show yourself. I don't know if you have been watching my game, but even when I play hero like Bane, right, I'm standing here, or I don't know, like if I'm sitting mid, I'm standing here. Unless you really need to be in front. Like because I'm playing Bane, maybe sometimes I need to be in front, I don't know. But if you're playing Oracle, there's no reason to be in front. Like there's no reason you should be casting these spells here because you put yourself in a dangerous spot. Unless you
I
feel
agree.
like you can never get punished, then okay. But I'm sure you have done this a lot and you get punished a lot also, right? By doing this, do you?
Well, actually, usually I
Yeah.
try to stay behind, but in this case, I saw that like we have an arena, and we have the advantage, and we're pretty strong. So I was pretty confident in myself that I can like be a little
Okay.
bit more
Then
aggressive.
that's fine. But you need to be conscious about your movement. That's my point. Like, if there's no need to do all this unnecessary movement, then just don't do it. You know what I mean? Because I think after I think after this
Yeah.
tower is down, what you did was you stand on top. Like if I'm you, I'm always standing below, because because your team does not lack. I don't think your team is lacking your spells to kill anyone. I don't know, but if you think you do, then that's fine. Because I'm saying this because I'm not sure at your MMR how bad people are at their positioning. I'm not sure. So
Man,
yeah,
they're very bad. They're very
because if
bad.
they are very bad, then there's a point for me to say this. You know what I mean? Like, just be conscious about your positioning. Like what are you doing here? You're just standing. You see this what I mean? So your team is taking this Rex, right? And you are standing here, you are not even attacking. If you are not even attacking, then don't stand here. You know what I mean?
Dire's bottom barracks are
Yeah.
under attack.
Yeah,
If you are
yeah, I
standing
get
here,
it.
then you might as well attack this. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is
Yeah.
what I'm saying when I say you don't need to make all this unnecessary movement. Either you join and attack, or you just
Dire's
move
bottom
below.
barracks has fallen.
Like, don't provide free information to your opponent. Like, yeah. Actually,
Okay.
I think that's all. I don't know if you have any question.
Well, that was an easy game,
Yeah.
actually. But in most cases, like the points, and you made a lot of good points to me that I need to, because I know I'm not that good at pressing buttons
Yeah.
and using my skills overall, because maybe I don't have the greatest reaction of all time. But at some point, this game was pretty easy. It's most of the games, like I get people who on this MMR who, first of all, they don't think when they play Dota, when they pick characters, they are getting demotivated pretty
Okay.
quickly, and they're making like shit moves. They don't look on the map, making shit moves. And like I had a game, I
Okay.
played Oracle, and I had like something, my score, my KDA was like 10-0-15, something like that. And when I try to communicate with people and I say, guys, we lost because you make like this mistake, you went there alone, you TP'd, you didn't push, and things like that. And if you communicate too much with them and tell them about their mistakes, they're
Okay.
getting
Okay.
angry about it. And they say, okay, we could have won this. Your carry is playing like 0-20, and they say, okay, we could have won this if my Oracle went not for buying a lens at the start of the game, but buying Glimmer. Then we could have won this. And at this point, I'm just listening to people, and I think like they don't have a brain, or they're kidding, or I don't know what to
Okay.
think actually, because
So okay, so in that case, right, I think actually I don't think it's a good idea to maybe in low MMR. I don't know about. I mean in high MMR is fine, but in low MMR you should not point out your teammates' mistake. Just don't. Uh, you can suggest them what to do, but if the mistake is already made, don't point it out. There's no reason to do that. And okay, and
but if they make it over and over again, that's the point. Like if your carry TPs to like a jungle where you understand you can't ward there because the enemy team is there, and he like dies over and over again because he wants to go there and try to farm there instead of farming in other places, you think I should like watch it and say, okay, maybe you should go top? If he in my point of view, if he doesn't understand what kind of mistake he's making, he will do it over and over again. That's my point of view. And by telling
but
people that they are making mistakes
does that
like that,
happen a lot actually?
they're
But
getting
does that
annoyed.
happen a lot, or is it just maybe every few games? Because how I look at this is, if it happens a lot to you, I'm sure it happens a lot to the opponent. So, I guess it will even out. That's my point. But I'm thinking like what you can do in this kind of situation. I can't really think of a solution now. I think it still goes back. Okay, I think it still goes back to how you play your early game, because how I think about this game, even in high MMR PUBG, is if I give my carry a very good time and give my center, the opponent center, a very bad time, it's less likely my team will get punished for playing aggressively. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
because if the opponent is having a bad time and your team is having a good time, then it's like your team can do whatever they want and they don't get punished.
In on this MMR, as far as I can see and as far as I can like watch people playing on this MMR, I can tell you that in 80% of the cases, people don't understand if they're strong
Yeah, yeah.
or if they're weak. In any case, they like if I see like we can end the game in 20 minutes or in 25 minutes and we have a big advantage, I always try to motivate my team to push. But on almost most of the cases, my team just goes in jungle. Like we can win the lane. Then usually I play fourth position. I played here fifth position because well, I play fifth position too, but in this case, I played fifth position because my friend was on carry and I wanted to grant him a good
Yeah.
start and a good game. So usually when I play fourth position and I try to play very aggressively on my lane, and we kill the enemy carry like 5 times before minute 5, and he goes jungle. At this point, I always try to get my team to push the lanes and get some objectives and do something on the map. And instead of that, usually they just go AFK and like jungle. That's the most disappointing thing to me because I understand that if the enemy carry goes to the jungle and nothing is happening, then all of the stuff that I've been doing in the early game, trying to harass him and not giving him farm, is just useless because he will get it in anyway. And we're not using that advantage. And most of the people in this MMR are just not thinking about what the game is all about, like destroying the throne. They're like thinking about, okay, I just need to get my items. People here don't even think when they get items actually, because like they get items. If you check all of the items on the people, I'm sure you can like find some guys that could have get better items like
Yeah, definitely. Actually, you speaking of that, sorry, let me just talk about this. So about item, so your friend here, hold on, he went immediately for better furry, right? So I think this is one
yeah.
of the reason why, right, it felt so hard to punish his centaur, because he went for very greedy build too. In my MMR, what my Juggernaut would have done is went for face boots. Like you see what he's doing here. So he already have 1k gold and he's just waiting. The 1k is just sitting there doing nothing. So it's like, although you guys have more net worth and supposed to be able to use your net worth to apply pressure to opponent, but because your net worth is not realized, you know what I mean? It's unrealized net worth.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe, I don't know, in future, if you guys do this uh draft again, Oracle Juggernaut, maybe you can suggest going for Facebook first and maybe explain to him why. Because I think what he went for here is he look at his career, he bought this.
He's going for the standard build. I agree that items like Battle Fury, like Midas, are very situational, and you should
Oh
take
no
them
no.
if you understand like that you're going to
Yeah,
be
yeah, I'm not saying that
farming a
it's
bit.
wrong to go furry. I'm saying the time to go the timing is wrong. Like he should went for Facebook first instead. Because
Well, yeah, it'll give him
yeah,
some bonus
it's so
farming.
much more useful. Like you want to realize the net worth immediately, you know what I mean? To just not this guy have a game. Because I don't know how to say this, but if you go for a greedy build, what happen is you realize you can't realize your net worth quickly to apply pressure, and so that means at the same time your opponent is not getting pressure, he's still farming. So you are there's the the net worth difference is not a lot. If you went for Facebook instead you all can apply a more positive uh net worth difference. You watch BSJ, right? I think he talked about this thing called positive pressure. I don't know if you heard before.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
your Juggernaut should definitely have went for Facebook. Because I was watching this game and then I was thinking why it felt so hard to kill this centaur. The reason was because you don't have Facebooks. The Juggernaut didn't have Facebooks.
Yeah, I think we lost like a couple of
Yeah.
kills like on Mirana
It,
and
so
on
this
this
is my
guy
point.
too.
It makes a difference. Like because this is about him, but for you, if you make like all the small so because you felt very hard to like how to say, like I think you have a good understanding of the game, like you know that when you can take fights, when you can push, like you know that your team could went for the high ground. So but it still felt very hard to win games. So I think what you should do is work on your micro decision, you know what I mean, like your small decision. If you can do that well,
Hmm.
it adds up and then you can just get better. I mean, at least for me, even at my MMR, I realized that I can gain 1k more MMR just by making better small decision and be consistent with it every game. I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I think it's true.
No, it's a good point because many of the things like usually you're right. In the game, I usually think about micro moments. Like I think about what are
Yeah,
we going to do, what should we buy, like where the wards need to be placed, like
yeah,
things like that. And sometimes like I miss moments like what my jug is building, what my team is, how my team is playing, and things,
yeah,
micro moments like that. And yeah, I agree that I
yeah.
should focus on them.
You know, also I mean also yours. Like you focus on your teammate in the sense that you check their status, like check what items they have, but you also need to make your small decision correctly. Like I know it's very small, like what I mentioned to you about eating the tango here, right? Eating the tree here. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
get having the free path here is in your favor. Like you can stand here and trade with the Mirana under the tower, which give you bonus. Like all this makes a difference. Oh, and I think I want to talk about the Fairy Fire. I think when I'm playing Oracle, I never go Fairy Fire. Although I see before some high rank MMR Oracle do that. But how I think about Fairy Fire is unless I'm going to man fight uh until either one of us is forced to back out, then I will get Fairy Fire. Otherwise I will not get Fairy Fire because the good thing about
I
the good
usually I usually get verified because I'm pretty aggressive on my
okay.
lanes always, and that's why I try to get because people on this MMR. That's my thought. People on this MMR usually don't check the opponent's
Okay.
items.
Yeah.
That's most common. And when they trade hits, usually I trade hits because I know I have a lot of regen and I have like fairy fire and sticks and shit like that. So as far as I know, if they
Mm.
don't check me, in most of the cases that leads to
Okay.
them to die.
But do you think it would have been better if you change the fairy fire into a mango? Like one more mango.
Yeah.
Like, do you think the mana is more useful than HP? I would think so.
Well, at first levels, if I'm playing aggressively, to be honest, I think like fairy fire is better. At minute three, four, five, mango is better than
Okay,
fairy, I
that's fine.
guess.
But so what you should have done is to ferry more regen, and I guess it's even fine that you got stick here. You know what I mean? Because you got the first blood, right? So what you should have done is since you got the first blood, you ferry more regen. And and speaking of that, right? That means it actually makes no difference whether you take the first blood or the Juggernaut. Because if both of you are playing correctly and efficiently, uh, you both of you are going to use the first blood goal to get more regen. So if you get the first blood, then you get the regen, and you can give it to your Jug.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
So it
Yeah, I
really
agree.
doesn't make a difference who get the first blood. Because you are going to use the first blood gold to get more regen anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or
yeah,
boots.
just don't get the boots. Like because you choose to get boots, this is what happened. This guy have low status and his spin is ready soon and you can't punish this. Like it's just not good. I
Yeah.
hope you understand why. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. I get it. Sometimes
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm too greedy on this
Yeah,
MMR because
yeah.
I
So
think
this the
everything's gonna be
micro
okay.
decision I'm talking about because I think as a boss fight, really the only way the most impact you have is early game, right? Especially in pub. I'm talking about pub game. The most impact you have is early game. So you really want to make your early game decision co- as good as possible, so that you can create a huge advantage for your team moving ahead. So that if your team play very aggressively, they are less likely to get punished. Okay.
What about I'm interested in your thoughts about if position 4 has the same like should have the same thoughts.
Uh,
Like I often get when I play position 4 and on this MMR I try to stay on the lane as much as I can to harass the
okay.
enemy carry until he
Okay.
leaves. And
Never mind. You continue. Continue.
yeah,
Sorry.
and sometimes when I get people like the guy chooses to play, I don't know, Earthshaker, and he's drafting on the lane vs Draw Ranger or two ranged heroes, and I understand that no matter what, like I play, I don't know, maybe Rubik, maybe someone else. I understand there's in this draft and in this laning, we can't do anything because Shaker can't do anything to two ranged heroes like on the lane, and the guy like he's a random guy not in my party and he asked me, okay, you should get more regen like on the lane because like I can't do shit here. What do you think in this case should I do? Should I help him and get like
You are
far
playing
more
boss 4
regen?
ES against a boss 5 Rubik. Correct. So
Yeah.
if you feel that when you are playing boss 5, you feel that you can't lane, you know what you can do is pull the creep wave here, right? You can either pull to here so that
No, I'm playing position 4
yeah,
Rubik in this
yeah.
case. Usually I
So
make pulls from here.
I can't see, so I mean you need to here,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
you from the standard place. If I play from position 4, I'm usually pulling it from the
Yeah, so you
standard
pull
places.
to here so that your boss 3 can have a game. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
you
I'm
mean
talking about.
that?
Because
Okay.
you're saying that you can't do anything at the lane, right? When you're playing boss 4 ES, and I agree, yeah, you just can't do anything in the lane. So what the only thing you can do is you create a 1v1 situation for your boss 3. You force the opponent boss 4 to stop your pull. Like either he stop your pull or he don't. And if he don't, okay, because think about it this way. Uh if you are playing boss 4 ES and you can't do anything in the lane, right? And because you can't do anything in the lane, your boss 3 is not going to have a game, right? Correct.
No, you get it a little bit wrong. My pos 3 is Shaker, and I'm playing
Oh,
position 4 Rubik. That's
okay. You are playing okay, then because ES can't do anything and you can't do anything also.
yeah. So the only thing I can to do is to pull creeps from the tower to get to our tower for him to get XP. That's the only
Yeah.
thing I can do. Because in most of the cases, my thoughts are like, if I understand like we can't do anything on the lane,
Okay.
usually I just leave it
Yeah.
and go try
Okay,
to
think
help
about it
other
this way. So
lanes.
the purpose of laning is to get all the creeps like get as much farm as possible, right? Because that's the purpose of
Yeah.
laning. So if both of you as a boss 4 and your boss 3 can't even get any last hit on the lane, then you might as well just pull starting the second wave, keep pulling, and you force the opponent to either stop your pull or they don't. If they don't, means what you can do is your boss 3 come back and take the farm here, while the boss 1 is forced to take the so you create two different creep fights, you know what I mean? And at least you can get half of the creep. Like if you don't do that, you just get none. You know what I mean? That
Yeah, so
yeah,
in this
that's the best thing.
case, we can win the lane if our pulling will be better than theirs.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do. And I don't know. I think BSJ thought about this. You can go watch. He thought about how the proper way to pull. Like you're supposed to pull and then block this camp. No, wait, hold on. I think you don't have to block this camp, but you have to block this camp. For Dire, you have to pull, and you you need to block this camp. I think I need to go to a demo to show. Actually, I don't play boss 4. I'm not even sure if I can get this correctly. Wait, I can't do this. I need to close this.
My quiver
Okay,
is
so what is the
open.
correct way to pull?
Prepare for battle.
Because I don't play boss 4, I might get this wrong. So I'm gonna wait for the next creep wave first. Yeah, I think you don't have to block this, but you have to block this. So what normally happen is the opponent boss 1 is farming here, right? And your boss 3 maybe can't do anything because the boss 5 is also harassing him. So you pull, and the opponent boss 5 will have two different options. Either he's forced to come and contest with you after you get your pull all the way to either here or here, or he stay and continue pressuring the boss 3, correct? Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I need to block this. The reason why I need to block this is because if I don't block this and it spawn, what happen is if the boss 5 is coming to contest this pull and you don't block this, he can just pull this to the creep here and then you are done. I think you lost the game, I don't know. Yeah, so you have to block this. You block this and then you just continue pulling. You pull all the way to here or here. Actually normally I see all my games they pull to here because it's just safer. You create a dangerous situation for the boss fight if he choose to come. Oh, I think I'm a bit late. I think I need to do this faster, I don't know. But I think you're supposed to be able to get it on time.
Yeah, I get it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. So the creeps, we can like try to hold the lane here.
Yeah, you can go and
That's a
test this yourself. But you see, you know why this is good? Because at least either you or your boss 3 get half the farm. Otherwise, both of you are going to get 0. Okay, yeah. And as a boss 4, it's also good to just get some farm. It's fine that you get a farm here, your boss 3 don't get first. Yeah, and then you continue with your things as your boss 4. I'm not very good at boss 4, so I'm not sure how to coach that.
I'll need to try and get the timings right before doing that actually. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, any more question or I mean
No, that was great. I need to accumulate all on try to like
actually I would appreciate if you can give me some feedback. Maybe not now, but I don't know, maybe you can PM me. Cause I want to know like if maybe there's anything I can do better or what. I don't know.
You mean on
on my
coaching or
like maybe you were expecting something but didn't get it or something.
Well, no, everything was pretty fine. You were pretty accurate, and you did your homework. You tipped up you saw the replay. You tipped up all the moments that you think that needs to be improved, or anything else. So from my point of view, you did everything right.
Okay,
Good job.
Thanks. Yeah, I actually I'm still learning. I'm not sure how well I can do this, so I hope to improve also. Yeah. So yeah.
If you're going to like, I'll be looking into you if you're gonna do that thing with the playing on 4 or 5k MMR as a sub and trying to grind some MMR. Like, I'll be watching
Yeah,
that
I
very
think
closely.
uh I I will see when I can do that, cause I don't think I will do that in the near future. Maybe I'm not sure when to, cause I'm trying to find ideas to get viewership first, you know. Yeah.
Well, I think that type of content can actually
Yeah.
get you viewers
Okay.
because like many people who play on subs, they are having a pretty big pretty big troubles, and they don't have they don't believe that they can grind MMR on this. Like I've been playing like on my second account like on 2k MMR, and from my point of view, people on 2, 3, 4, 5k MMR are doing pretty much the same. They don't think. And on 5k MMR, they just pressed buttons a little bit better than on 2k MMR, from
Yeah.
my point of view. So people that play position 5 or position 4, after watching all the pro players and all the guys that are telling that like it's almost like unlikely to grind MMR when you're playing sub, because you're like getting mid sniper with tranquil boots and a gun in first item. I think most of them will be interested if you'll make that kind of content, or any content that will be unusual. Because when I saw the content
Yeah.
that BSJ made, he made it on a pretty low MMR, and one game is pretty not so obvious, because you can like have a good team, do some things on position 5 that actually aren't correct from my point
Okay.
of view. Like he said once, he said like, if you understand that you're like stronger than your team, you should actually take as much farm as you can and try to win the game, to help them win the game. From my point of view, that won't help actually. And if you go into statistics and try to look at it from one game that he did it and he won, that doesn't actually tell us anything. If he would done it like in 20 games in a row and had like 80% win rate, then I'll believe him. But not
Yeah.
from one game.
I think even if you are a 8K MMR player and then you play 4K, 5K games, you are bound to have losing games also. But if you deserve 8K MMR, you definitely can reach the playing support. You know what I mean?
Well, I've been trying for like
Yeah.
a lot
Like
of. I have more than, I think, 20k
yeah.
hours
So
in
at least for
Dota, and
yeah, at least for
I
me
get
when
it.
my MMR gets stuck, I begin to realize that maybe there's just something I'm not doing correctly compared to higher MMR players. You know what I mean? So uh yeah, like it's
We'll
okay
see.
to lose few games, like even if you deserve 8K MMR, but if you are just getting stuck for, I don't know, like you said, when the sample size gets so big, then uh there's no more excuse, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I think in future I will do that. The the thing you talk about, playing low MMR games and grind to high MMR. But yeah. Actually, I
Yeah.
thought that before, but there's too many ideas in my mind now that I don't think I can just do everything now. Yeah.
Great. So if you're gonna play low MR,
Okay,
I'll be
okay.
happy to play with you. In
Okay,
any case.
so
Okay. Thanks for the coaching. Yeah, you were great actually, especially if
yeah.
it's your first time. And I hope you'll get a lot of viewers if you'll
Okay,
keep up the
thanks
good
bro.
work.
So I think that's all for today, cause yeah, I'm also going to off my stream already. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thanks
no
again.
problem, bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have any question. I'm going to take a short break first. Hold on. So chat has no question. I only have 20 viewers. Okay, I guess I'm ending my stream, guys. Okay. I think see you guys tomorrow or something. Okay. I have spoken a lot and now I'm having a dry throat. Holy shit. Okay, bye.